What's going on, guys? This is Team Sonic Vector coming at you with a battle with Killerbee 503. Yes, a Wi-Fi battle. You mad? This is third generation. This is one of my first third generation fights that I did not bring a Starmie Week team. Yeah, if you look on Hyde's channel and you see a dude getting swept like a baby back bitch, that's me. Yeah. Anyway, Hyde would put that in his sub box. I mean, I'm not sure how else he would win. So, I'm leading off with my Yanma here, my blue flash, my shiny Yanma. And it really sucks because a couple turns into this match, I'm seeing something that I don't like. I realized that I brought the wrong freaking Yanma because here, he's just leading with this Sceptile. And I believe I go for a Shadow Ball here. I'm trying to remember exactly what my first play here is. I may go for sub. I really don't remember. I'm kind of remembering this battle as I go along. Double this battle up a little bit. So he's going to go for a Leech Seed. He's faster than Yanma because I would forget Protect. I mean, because I don't know how to play third generation. Anyway, I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball, and I believe I am attack oriented, so that should do some kind of bit of damage. It does about a fourth. Pretty decent. I guess we can live with that. So he's going to get some leftovers going on for himself there, and yeah, he's almost faster than me, but I get my speed boost. And at this point, I still haven't figured it out that I was Lychee Berry, or was not Lychee Berry, but the Leech Seed goes off, and I see my leftovers go right after this, and I realize at that point that I brought the wrong freaking Pokemon. I mean, of course I would. So I'm going to go for Hypnosis, and it actually does hit. And I believe on the next turn I do swap out here, and am able to, like, let's see. Forgive me, guys. I haven't narrated in a long time, and I really have never narrated a third gen battle, so kind of a cool thing going on there. So here I am going to swap out into Combo Breaker, which is my Ampharos, my shiny Ampharos, which is a really cool guy, and he goes out to his Gyarados, which is his Gyarados, obviously. And I'm kind of thinking this guy's probably one of them Dragon Dancing variants because, you know, every Gyarados kind of is. And I figure even if he went for an Earthquake, it is non-stabbed, and Combo Breaker could probably take one and live to tail the tail. But that's not what he does, so instead he does have the Swampert with him, and he does bring out the Swampert on my Combo Breaker. And I go right into Levier, my Gyarados, and go ahead and get an Intimidate off on this guy. Because there's only two kinds of main pert that it's going to be. It's either going to be some kind of Curse variant Swampert that is going to set up, which, as you can see here, it is indeed the Curse Swampert. Or it will indeed be a mixed pert that has the Ice Beam and the Hydro Pump. So I do get that off, and I am thinking at this point I can roar him out of his curses, but he does also carry the Rock Slide, which is going to hit. And if memory does serve correctly, I think that does a little over half, not quite half that during Intimidate. So it's a 3-hit KO, and I'm able to roar him out pretty safely and stay in a pretty safety, healthy median of hit points. He's going to go out to his Mexican, and Ludicolo, I'm thinking this is either a stall-based one or a sweeper, and I need to find out which one it is. So, instead of trying to do anything to it, he withdraws and goes right back out to his pert, which really sucks because I was going for the Thunder Wave, thinking he was the sweeping variant, or maybe even had Thunder Punch or HP Electric, but he predicts that like a professional third gen boss player here, and he goes out to his pert to absorb that Thunder Wave. And here he's going to try to start setting up again, And I'm sorry I'm speeding this up quite a bit, but it's a 44-minute battle, and I don't think you guys want to watch 44 minutes or listen to 44 minutes of me yak my brain out. So, I've still got my Gyarados out here, and I'm thinking he's going to go for the Rock Slide, because we've already seen the perk carries it, and I don't have the Intimidate down. And even though it's not stabbed, it probably will either kill or nearly kill. So I'm going to go out to my Rhinoss, my defensive Rhydon here. He's going to take that Rock Slide so ridiculously well. It maybe did like 1/9 of my HP. If that, probably not even. Does about, I don't know, about 46, 48 points worth of damage. And I'm easily able to swap out here and go into my Leviair again to get that Intimidate off. But I actually swap out to Leonardo because I'm thinking Leonardo can take Swampert quite a bit better. I'm thinking that it'll be able to come in and either surf it and hit it hard, or to be able to do something else to it. But he goes for the Earthquake, and it does do quite a bit. It does almost half after lefties. Not quite half. So at this point I really wanted to go for a Surf, but I do believe I opt out of that as he goes back into his Gyarados. But I do go for the Surf anyway, and it doesn't do jack anything. Did more than I thought it would, but I guess that's just only because of Torrent. So I do see here that it is a Dragon Dancer, and he's going to get some leftovers. And after he starts going for them Dragon Dances, this is where this match gets really complicated. I believe at this point he does have one down. I switch in my Gyarados to take that Dragon Dance away from him, thinking I'll be able to fight him pretty well. And as I go for the T-Wave on this next turn after intimidating him, he's going to outspeed me still. Oh no, he goes for the Dragon Dance here, and I go for Hidden Power Flying instead of Thunder Waving, which is what I should have done in the first place. It really would have helped me. I think there's like 3 major misplays in this entire match that really cost me and stuff, and that really does kind of suck, because you guys know Killerbee is one of them really good 3rd gen players, and I have had the opportunity to play him. So that was kind of a cool kind of thing there. I'm going for the Thunder Wave again, and this time he knows I'm going to go for it, so he does taunt me. And I'm going to skip forward a little bit after the battle, or after this turn, and goes for the Thunder Wave again. And at this point I need to swap out. I really need to do something effective. And I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do yet. If memory serves, I do go for the HP Flying on this turn, and you can see it still does quite a bit of damage to this Gyarados. Even with the leftovers, it's just shy of the safe 2-hit KO. And that really sucks, because I really had this the way I wanted it. It was going really well. All in my favor, and now not so much. So also I've got to speed this near because the laptop's getting a little hot, and so he's going to go for the Hidden Power of his own, and you can see here after the one Dragon Dance, it's doing an immense amount of damage, and I can't live another one. So I hit him after the fact to bring him down to red, and after the leftovers he's just into the yellow health. And I know here he's going to go for the HP Flying, so I do go out to my Rhinoss to take it, because I do know that he will take a +1 HP Flying so ridiculously well. Okay, so on this turn, this is like the key to me doing pretty good in this match. I'm thinking even at +1, I did intimidate him earlier. At +1 non-stabbed, Rhydon's at a pretty decent health level. I can survive an Earthquake, and if Rock Slide hits, I will take this Gyarados out. So, and it's weird, because at first I was either going to go to my Leviair or go to my Blue Flash. And here I actually do that. I forget to do that, but okay, he calls me here and goes for a second Dragon Dance. and he goes ahead and takes out my Gyarados on this turn, and then I'm bringing in my Rhydon to take an Earthquake. Yeah, we're about halfway through the battle right now. So I'm going to my Rhydon to take that Earthquake, and I take it pretty well. Not as well as I would have liked to have taken it, but I actually live. So, and that was a +2 Earthquake, believe it or not. And I'm able to finish him off with a Rock Slide right afterwards, so that's pretty cool. And that was a very big momentum shift in the match between me and Killerbee. Very big momentum shift right there on my side. And I get a useless crit, which didn't matter. He's going to bring in an Espeon. And this thing really, as you will see in just a couple of minutes, really baned me. There were a couple real big things, especially, bringing the wrong Yanma really hurt me, because I would have had the coverage I needed to beat this thing with Yanma. I'm figuring I can go into my T-Tar here. I know that Espeon really doesn't have anything, and it's going to start setting up Calm Minds all over the place. And it goes for HP Fire, and then he brings in his Pert, and I go for the HP Grass, which you do see surprises the Swampert, thinking that I am the physical Dragon Dancing set. And just like Double Edge, my Hidden Power Grass will easily 2-hit KO this Pert. I will outspeed it and take it out. But I figured he'd switch, and I called it and went for the Ice Beam here, just thinking I would get a little bit more advantage out of it. So, yeah, that's how that went down. And now, as we move right along, it is, I forget the score on his side, but he's got 3 left. No, he's got 5 left. I'm sorry, I can't count. So he goes to the Mexican here, and I'm thinking he's going to go for the Surf, but he doesn't. He just, I'm sorry, he does go for the Surf. I had this battle a couple days ago, guys, and school's been crazy, so I really apologize if the narration is very, very flowing. It's very out of whack compared to what I'm doing. So I go ahead and let my Rhydon die because it's very good death fodder at this point. And I do bring in my Combo Breaker because it's probably the best thing to take this guy down. Stab T-Bolt from the special attack. And he goes for the Toxic and follows it up with a Leech Seed. And I'm thinking, after setting up the screens, that I can go ahead and go for a T-Bolt and do a significant amount of damage to this thing. And I can't. So I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. And Blue Flash also has no bug moves, so that kind of sucks. I'm kind of thinking with Light Screen Up I can take Surfs from this guy. So I do go out to him thinking that I can do that. And he goes for the Toxic, and that's another Pokemon that I now can't really set up with because of that Toxic. And it's kind of funny, early in the game I didn't think it would really matter too much to be poisoned by this thing, but it does end up mattering quite a lot, you will see very soon. So, leftovers are going to go on and all that stuff's going to happen. And I'm just going for the Thunderbolt continuously because I am thinking it will do a lot, and after a couple hits it's a 2-hit KO if he didn't have the Leech Seed, but he does have the Leech Seed, and that is really starting to wear me down, so I've got to leave the building here. At this point I'm still just going for the Thunderbolts, trying to get some crit hacks, maybe get some luck on my side, and it's not really happening. So I'm going out to Leonardo because I really don't know why. I really have nothing to hit it, and he has everything to hit me. But I see the Leech Seed and I'm predicting that he doesn't have Giga Drain. So at this point I really am just trying to freeze this stupid Ludicolo because it would allow me to set up a sweeper and get back in the game. But after 4 Ice Beams I get no freeze. He goes into his Espeon here, which takes an Ice Beam. I believe I get a crit here, and I believe it very much mattered because I think he had Calm Mind up, but I do get the crit. And again, another momentum shift, but he's setting up Calm Minds and taking the Leech Seed. And At this point I go back out to T-Tar because this thing has Calm Mind, HP Fire, Psychic, and something. It can't hit T-Tar effectively. And I think I could call this entire video how Espeon did not die at all. It kind of sucks. I really wanted it to die, but it kept living with the leftovers. And you'll see I do Sandstorm and Thunderbolt it down, and every turn after that it was just living with 1 HP with leftovers. So he does manage to beat my T-Tar, and I have my Blastoise, which is I predicted that HP Fire and that I could possibly live it. But the thing is, even at that range, Sandstorm from this range still does not kill it. It leaves it with like 3 HP, and with leftovers he's basically outstalling the Sand. So I was very hopeful every single turn that that would kill him, but it didn't. And so after both of my possibilities of taking this Espeon down, again, you see how much HP I was dealing with. Actually, my T-Tar is not dead. I swapped it out at like really red health. And I bring in Blue Flash, and because once again I have no Protect, which could easily put me above speed in this Espeon, I'm not running it, so I'm not able to Shadow Ball and take the Espeon out. But for some dumb reason I thought I was faster, and I'm not. So death to my Yanma, who can't take a Calm-Minded Psychic. So here comes my T-Tar back at 32 health, and once again you can just clearly and easily see the leftover Sandstorm mechanic just working really against my favor right now, as I am getting enough leftovers to attack back. But after the poison on this one turn, I can't remember if it's this turn or next turn, I do actually die from the HP Fire, which really does kind of suck, because T-Tar is able to wall fire attacks pretty well, but sadly in this case he was not able to do so. So here I'm going for the Dragon Dance, and I thought it was a really good play on my part, but sadly enough, even after the Dragon Dance, I do not outspeed this thing, which really surprised me. And you can clearly see here, at this point all I have is my T-Tar and my Ampharos, and he's easily going to be able to knock it down from that range after the poison. It took me to go all the way down to 9 HP for him to be able to kill me with an HP Fire with pretty much relative ease. So yeah, I died of HP Fire, and I bring in Ampharos. He shines all purpley and cool looking, and then he dies to a Psychic. And that's going to be the game, guys. I will leave the link in the description, Killerbee 503. You guys rate, comment, sub, and later, guys.